The views and opinions expressed on this podcast, including discussions on news, politics, and current events, are solely those of the host and guests and are based on personal thoughts, experiences, and opinions. Nothing stated should be considered factual unless independently verified by the listener. This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not provide financial, legal, medical, political, or life advice. Any actions discussed are what we would do personally, not recommendations for others. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research and consult qualified professionals before making any decisions.
Nope. You got November 3rd, general election.
Yeah.
We're going to get you registered before then. That's the goal, Larry.
I'm going to use 2 fake names.
Yeah.
Vote twice.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm going to get purged.
Are you going to vote? You going to register Republican?
Yeah. I was thinking about
You
that.
going to do what KP does?
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Ford Social Conversations, where we talk about a lot of things, but not everything, because everything don't need to be talked about. What's going on, y'all?
What's up, man? What's good? What's good with you?
Y'all,
good
look,
with you
y'all up here talking about voting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I voted.
Today is the day.
Yeah, I voted. You know what they
voted
told
today?
me? That the lady said, she said, you're on what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word, but was it unaffiliated?
That you
I think
could
the word.
vote?
Oh, independent?
Yeah, but it said unaffiliated, I think. I said, yeah. She said, so you only can vote for the school board. I was like, huh?
Well, that's because the candidates they're either Democrat or Republican.
Right.
So if you want to vote for everyone, you would
Right,
have to pick either.
Pick one.
Mhm.
So I had to pick one.
Yeah. How did that make you feel?
I didn't like picking one.
What do you mean pick? I
Hey,
mean, there's multiple people
That's what the
running,
vote is
but-
for.
Yeah, I'm talking about, but you had to pick one
Oh,
side.
you didn't like to
Democrat.
pick one side?
You
Well,
got to register at something.
Yeah, but you still I'm still unaffiliated, but I just had to pick which side I want to vote for, Democrat or Republican.
so you feel like it
It-
everybody should just be on there on one Democrat, like when you're voting for
Exactly,
the
yeah.
president.
Yeah.
I can see that. I
Yeah.
can definitely see that.
What, that you for it or?
I think everybody should be on
Affiliated?
there.
Right.
No, whether you're affiliated or non-affiliated, just give me my chance because you may want to vote for someone unaffiliated,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you may like a Republican in a certain place, or you may like a Democrat in a certain place. I feel like you should just have a choice,
Mhm.
free will.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mhm. How do you
They
feel?
just told you to get something.
Well, no, it's based on who's running.
Yeah.
So, if they're all identified as Democrat, that, then they're going to be on that. If they're identified as Republican.
They're gonna be on
Now,
that
if everybody ran as unaffiliated, then,
That'd be
it would,
chaotic, man.
everybody would be on one.
Yeah.
But also, people don't read. So you got to,
What you mean?
sometimes
Like when they're looking at the ballots?
people don't, people don't study. People don't understand.
Yeah.
We've been through this. We've
Mhm.
seen it. We witnessed it. So
Hey, some
a
people
lot
just,
of times,
just born in their party, yo.
on the red side, a lot of
Right.
them don't read. So they just want the one, that they're registered to.
Yeah.
I talked to a guy, he was just like, you're a Democrat. I'm actually registered unaffiliated. And he was like, so you vote Democrat.
Mhm.
That's not how that, you don't have to do that.
Somebody told me that same thing. They said, "Oh, if you're unaffiliated, that means you vote Democrat." I
Just
said, "How do you-"
automatically. Huh?
Automatic. I'm like, where you get that from?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I was just like, if I'm a Democrat, or they felt like because, if I'm a Democrat, I'm automatically going to vote Democrat. How do you know? We've
That's the whole
witnessed
point
people,
of the vote, right?
we've witnessed people, even here on Impel Ford, who's a registered Republican, but votes Democrat.
That's what I'm gonna do.
A lot of people are. I mean,
I'm gonna do it.
And then you have the people who say, "Don't matter who you vote for, just vote." I'm like, you don't mean that.
Yeah, just empty voting.
that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
They don't mean that. They no matter who you vote for, just vote.
I don't like.
Why?
Yeah.
That's what people say. People,
No, I've
fake,
heard that. I've heard
fake
that.
I
people,
know, but
they just say
then
that.
does your vote count?
Huh?
Then you've created the problem.
It
This
counts
is
for
what,
something, for somewhere.
but I
Yeah.
feel like this is what happens. I will vote for Donald Trump.
Hey,
This is how we got
Hey.
into this. You know what I mean? Like this is seriously.
Yeah,
A lot of people voted this year for the president, and then months later,
they regret it. They regret it.
not only regretted it, they thought that they can go back and change their vote.
Yeah.
and they can't.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
They felt that.
So
They felt that.
that, you know, that
You got to put some thought into it. You got to.
you got to read
at
something.
least a little bit, right?
I mean, at some point, but a lot of people, they don't read.
For me, I'm just not against all the pressure behind it. Like if you don't vote, you such and such, or this, that, and the third. All that ain't necessary. Like people are getting pressured into voting for something, whether they know it or not.
I don't like the pressure, but I feel like it's important to vote. You know, I mean,
agreed.
We've seen it, we witnessed it. I think I would like for people to not only vote, but understand what they're voting for and understand the different, you know, rules or responsibilities of the government. Don't just vote because, you know, you heard how great, you know, someone is or whatever.
I agree with you. I think the complications and what makes it confusing is that voting is seasonal. Like when it comes around, then everybody's honing in on it. But when it's not anything going on, when it's not voting season, nobody cares. Like nobody, unless you're hurting, like you're feeling that pain.
I don't know. I don't think it's nobody cares because I just feel like, you know, Leo been catching strays since last year, every day.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
For different things though. Yeah.
I know there's different things, but I mean, he could say something, he can walk different, he can not show up somewhere. And don't get me wrong, people. I mean, I'm, you know, Leo's Leo. But what I'm saying is that he hasn't had a break since he re-ran again.
I think that's the burden of leadership though. But for me, I'm talking about the pressure from the followers is part of the issue.
Yeah.
When it's not voting season, nobody is figuring out solutions to fix the problems. But then voting season comes around. Of course, all the candidates and the politicians, they throw their hat into the ring, and whoever got the best solution, this, that, and the third. But still, the followers are not studying the solutions, like you said.
They try. Well, yeah, but you know, look at Jasmine Crockett, right? She's been trying to figure out solutions and pretty much fighting
every step,
every day.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are thrown off just by Jasmine's character and personality.
Yes,
she can be intense. I got it. But that doesn't mean like her solutions are any less or warranted for any type of criticism than anybody else. I think people are attacking her because of who she is, and not what she's trying to do. You know?
I think it's sad that she is being judged based on who she is and not what she's done and how much she fights for her constituents.
Yeah,
and that's sad.
Facts.
I think some people look at her delivery, which I don't understand it. Why would they hold that against her when you look at, you know, the person who's in office now?
Who struggles to make a
he says
coherent sentence.
You know? Yeah.
He rambles.
But, you know, that's,
Yeah. No, I get it.
I mean, it's always going to be that way. You know, I've always been told that, you know, education is key. You have to work 2 to 3 times harder. You have to do all the things more. You know, you apply for a job, you look at the job description, don't apply unless you meet 90% of the requirements. Go above and beyond. Perception is key. Do all the things, right? And you continue to do all the things. And because your vernacular isn't the same as what they visualized you to be based on your credentials, all of a sudden you're aggressive, you're loud, you're boisterous. You wouldn't be good for this position. You don't fit the typical mold of what you should be. But again, they said the same thing about Michelle Obama.
They said a lot of things about Michelle.
And she was totally, and they're the same in certain ways, but they're, you know, how they move and how they, I guess, translate what they're trying to say and how they feel about certain things are totally different. But that still didn't keep Michelle Obama from getting, you know, taking shots.
Do you feel that Kamala fell into some of that as well?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think people honed in too much on, is she Black? Her dad's Jamaican, her mom's Indian, Asian. And
they couldn't put her in a box. They couldn't fit her in one thing.
They couldn't fit her in a box. They, you know, all of those things were overshadowed her accomplishments.
Okay.
And people kind of honed in on that, even with, the whole rumor of, she arrested more Black men than, anybody. And that, was false. And people still believe that. Black men that I've talked to still believe that. Even that's been debunked and they still believe it. I.e. Judge Joe Brown still talks bad about her. And
Judge Joe Brown, boy.
And, he's a character of his own. And all of these people that they have claimed her to be with, I mean, outside of the one guy who I guess worked at the DA's office or whomever, I can't remember, allegedly. But that proved to be a relationship. She was younger then. But everybody else that they've tied her to has came out and said that wasn't true. Montel Williams and all these other people. But
forgot
again,
about Montel. Yeah.
Majority Black men and some white men have still tied her to that.
Yeah.
But a lot of Black men, they still have issues with, white supremacy. They still, the thought process hasn't left them yet, and they still fight or have a hard time seeing women in higher positions. Hence the reason why they have so much smoke for Jasmine Crockett, i.e. Stephen Smith.
This is my struggle with the whole voting concept, is the fact that it can be greatly skewed based on community sentiment because of he say, she say. Here's a rumor of this, here's a rumor of that. Now you got 100,000 people voting this way because of a rumor that's unfounded or whatever.
Right.
And you might have a handful of people, a small percentage of people who actually do their homework and they realize, hey, none of this stuff is true, none of this stuff is real. But it's just the fact that the manipulation of that is so strong, but it makes the results can be so different and so huge in the community because somebody created a rumor that made the majority of this candidate lose votes or gain votes. Like if you look on the commercials now, every election season, it's more slur commercials and these slander campaigns about this candidate didn't do this, didn't do that, instead of how can this candidate build up X, Y, and Z. That's where most of the majority of the marketing dollars is going to these slur campaigns for politicians. And it's just like, it's exhausting.
It is. Also, it can be helpful. I mean, it helped us with I don't know why I always get on this podcast and forget the names of these people, but I'm not good with names anyway. But it helped us a lot with Mark Robinson. Ooh. When
I remember that name.
Was it
that was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
When Josh Stein said, release the Eagles. When it was becoming closer. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we wouldn't have never known really a lot of that. And I mean, we knew he was crazy based on some of the things we saw on TV, right?
Yeah.
But we know that the way editing, but we know editing can be crazy, right? And you can put these couple things together. However, for them to do a deeper dive into the web and the black web and all of that other stuff to find that out, I think that really people who were kind of riding the fence, because there's still some people who believe in some of those, older things as far as being the head of the household and running the charge and all this other stuff. Right. I also feel like a lot of that, when people, a lot of the people that were riding the fence, they took a step back and was like, whoa, now bro took a little too far with the slaves, owning other slaves and all this other stuff. So I think also, so in that case, that was helpful because.
I mean, but that was true though also.
But I mean, some of these, are, so when they're helpful, I'm like, listen, Valerie Fouché, what she do, and what's her name? Is it the Indian woman? Nella? Someone.
Oh, I don't know.
There was something I don't want to say a slander campaign, but it was some things that was posted that she said back in the day.
Yeah.
But again, that was helpful and it caused me to do a deep dive. Some people don't care, right? They'll be like, oh, that makes her cool or whatever. But,
some people will find a way to justify their candidate. And I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. And that's what they did with Trump. They're still justifying his existence. Like they're still saying, well, he didn't mean that. And, I was looking at Isaiah Martin. Shout out to Isaiah Martin. He's great. He's great. Do you follow him?
Don't.
He wrote down everything that Trump promised while he was running.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to lower the cost of eggs, right? He was going to not go to war with Iran, right? He was going to he was going to end the war between
Ukraine and Russia.
Right? And it was just a full list of everything.
Yeah.
And he was just like, let's mark down everything that he's accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nothing on the list nothing he promised during his campaign.
I believe that.
He has not accomplished anything. Right. Lower the price of gas. Now it's going to go up exponentially, right? Now that we're at war.
And there was a time where gas did drop and people jumped on that like, oh yeah, Trump is doing what he said he was going to do. I'm like, hold on, I'll pump the brakes, no pun intended. That was one thing that just happened to be at this time frame.
Right. But I don't think it is, because if you think about it, like Sheetz will have these major sales, right? Where they're like 40 cents off or gallon, gas is $1.07, today only. We want to thank our, our loyal customers. How does that happen when BP is still at $3.27?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If the they're not having these sales. Why does Sheetz always have these, Circle K has them, but Sheetz for majority.
Yeah.
They have these crazy sales on gas.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then you think about it, like Shell doesn't have that.
They don't. Yeah. I mean, that's marketing. I got it. That's corporate there.
Right.
That ain't Trump.
Exactly. So I think sometimes people are misinterpreting these things for, well, Trump did it.
Yeah.
Also, they could be competing with their counterparts down the street on 55.
Yeah.
We have 75 million gas stations. They're all competing with each other. Right.
But that's exactly what I said a minute ago. Like people will find a way to justify their candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, Trump is still trying to blame Biden for everything.
And it's funny because his people are like, well, give him some time. Why do we have to give him time when he made these promises in the beginning? He said day one, he was going to lower the price of eggs.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to bring God down from the heavens. He promised all these things.
Listen, we're not going to have any more wars. I'm going to stop all the wars. We right now getting into another one.
He specifically said he was not going to go to war with Iran. Yeah. And we partnered with Israel against Iran.
I mean, the first, he got sworn in September. I was about to say September. That's not a real month. Sworn in February. By the end of February, we had bombed Iran that first time and hit their nuclear facilities. Within like a month.
He was sworn in January 20th.
Okay, sorry, January. Yeah. And then by end of February was when we started bombing Iran. It's crazy. And now we're teamed up with Israel to go jump Iran. It's crazy. We didn't ask for that.
No.
We didn't ask for that. But again, just to bring it back, like that's why you got to be careful and do your homework when it comes to voting for your candidates. Some people, man, I got it. They're just team red, team blue.
All the way through.
No matter what,
And most people don't even know that you have to. I think they're finding it out now. They're like, oh my goodness, I don't even want to be affiliated. Like, but
some people got a conscience.
They do, but he likes to duly uneducated. So
Israel said that they was going to do it themselves. The U.S. just pushed themselves into it.
That Iran was going to attack Israel? I mean, Israel was going to attack Iran?
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They said,
I mean...
Because Netanyahu has been talking about Iran and their nuclear...
for years.
Yeah, for decades, bro. Decades, since like the 80s and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I mean, they got a president on board that'll just be like,
you don't believe that? You don't think that's true?
So whatever they lost during, with all the other things, he's just like, hey, we're gonna replenish them.
It's weird, man. It's weird. I don't know. Hey, be careful about who y'all voting for, though.
Definitely. Definitely. I find it weird that, people are, I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't know about the president of Iran. I don't know.
Right,
That's
right.
just not something, honestly, that I've dug into because there's just so much going on in the United
Oh,
States.
man,
So
it's
people forgive
nonstop.
me. But they were cheering and they were happy. Was he like a dictator and he wasn't great? Or is this Trump trying to win the Nobel Peace Prize for real?
It
I
sounds
was
like the
wondering-
same thing with Venezuela.
I was wondering the same thing. I heard people say it was cheering, but I'm like,
Yeah,
why
dancing
are they
in the
cheering and
street.
they're getting bombed though? I don't understand it.
Right, like their family members and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they're here right
Mhm.
now. And I'm just like, you guys are cheering and you guys are happy. Meanwhile, he's looking at where you're at so he can send you over there.
Now, one thing I don't understand is they were saying that they was looking for a new leader to take over.
Mhm, mhm.
And then I saw Trump said that most of them have been killed though. I'm like, how you bombing it to kill one leader, looking for another one to succeed him.
Yeah.
How
Like,
is that
who's
Trump's
putting-
business?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't
Hey,
understand none of this.
It's
So I'm trying to
American
figure
business
it out.
if you set it up. Hey, you
Right.
got to be
I
careful,
get what you're
man.
saying. Like
Every
check the
time-
checkers and everything.
Every
Yeah.
time they talk about regime change,
Mhm.
Right.
they're setting it up. Like they putting it together. Like, oh, we got somebody for that.
And then if you put one of them in and they do something you don't like, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Bomb
Well,
it again?
everybody knows that, right?
Right.
Even his staff knows that. You do something, you go against him, right? You're
Hey, you getting subbed out.
you're
right?
getting subbed
Yeah,
out.
hey.
I mean, Elon,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What's his name? Ramaswamy. As soon as he made that
I
comment
forgot
about
that, man. Yeah.
called the white man mediocre and said that they were too busy watching Saved by the Bell while he was, at home studying.
Yeah.
He's no longer part of his cabinet.
I forgot about that.
You know,
Yeah. He
they
ain't
said-
seen him in a minute.
They sent the one guy who was what's his name? We haven't seen that man since he got he's an ambassador of Jamaica. What's the name of the
Oh my
black man?
God. The football player.
Oh, you keep talking about Herschel Walker?
Herschel
Yeah.
Walker, man. Herschel
Where
Walker.
is he?
I don't know.
Walker.
He made him ambassador of the Caribbean or something. We haven't seen that man since. He took that little medal
Yeah.
and shook his hand. That
Yeah.
man been gone ever since.
Hmm.
If he don't like you, he
Oh,
just,
my God. Oh.
everybody is expendable, no matter where we are. We're all expendable,
Yeah.
right? And that's how he runs his cabinet.
Yeah.
And
Take your PTO,
that's
man.
why people fall in line.
Take your PTO.
Right.
They're gonna find somebody to replace you.
So do y'all think what's going on that it was a mass shooting in Texas?
Mm.
The guy who shot up a bar, I think it was. Let me make sure I'm
Okay.
correct. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it was. And what he had an Iran shirt on or something like that, Larry?
Yeah, I heard something about that.
Yeah. It was
14 people. He killed 2 people.
Killed
and,
2 people.
Yeah, injured 14.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they were saying he had an Iran shirt on, thinking because of what's going on over there that he had to do something over here.
Man, see, I look at stuff like that with a raised eyebrow, man, because now we have this specific type of war kicking up and stuff. Now you got people who are kind of now they're coming out of the woodworks and there's violence on American streets and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a news report now talking about the CIA is doing that overseas when they talk about kicking up different tribes and stuff in Iran so they can like kick the war off in Iran. So you got to be careful about that because that stuff can happen here just as well.
Yeah.
know?
I mean, people have strong feelings about these different wars and people
Yeah.
and, Palestine and Gaza and,
Facts.
all of these
Facts.
things. And you never know what could be that trigger.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for something so that they can justify
Mhm.
what they're doing. And, during COVID, a lot of people that were on medicines and different things who weren't allowed to get treatment never got treatment again.
Mm.
So,
Mhm.
it's not saying a lot of these things didn't happen prior to COVID, but I'm just saying it heightened it because a lot of resources that were available to
Yeah.
them was no longer, or, the business is no longer around. And right now in our current
Mhm.
climate, you
Mhm.
never know, kind of what's going on. So a lot of people are still, they haven't recovered since.
True.
And I think that kind of played a part.
Yeah, it said the guy had a shirt on that said property of Allah and Iranian flag design.
See, man,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm half and half on stuff like that, man.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm an optimistically pessimistic person, man. I believe people has a lot of good in them. They can do good all day.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be naive and trust everybody either. So
Right.
I'm half and half, you know? So when I hear stuff like that, it checks a lot of blocks that seem too convenient, you know? And it's just like, all right, okay. All right. So I'm not trying to be, inconsiderate of the people who really did lose their lives and their families and people who got injured and stuff.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, because that is real. But some of these things can be manufactured by our people that are doing a lot of stuff right now.
That is very true.
I don't know the facts.
There's just so much propaganda that's going on, and people are, they're falling in line because there's so much, and people aren't wanting to do their due diligence. AI is creating a lot of content that is not true at all. But we all kind of get stuck. It's almost like what they call it doom scrolling, when you're just constantly on your phone, and your algorithm is tied to what you watched originally. So if you watch something crazy and you find it interesting, then it's going to continue to show up on all of your social media accounts, right? So it's just going to get you deeper and deeper, involved in reading all of this mess, and it's just going to continue. Especially if you don't stop it and try to figure out, is this really true?
Hey, you got to be aware first, because it'll sneak up on you before you even know it.
Oh, yeah.
A minute ago, I was sitting, before we got started, I was kind of looking on my phone at some stuff on Carfax, just looking it up. And I promise you, like 5-10 minutes later, it popped up on the TV over here. Oh, yeah. Like, it's crazy. It is crazy. Like, now a Carfax commercial pulled up on TV as I'm just looking through it, looking through the app. Like, all right, man. Okay.
It's all tied together.
All right,
and so
brother.
just think of that person that's doom scrolling, right? Then they turn on the TV in their living room. Then they turn on the TV in their bedroom before they go to bed. Everything is connected, right? So he's going to bed listening to all of this craziness, right? And now it's embedded, So.
Hey, but for real though, like, okay, in situations like this, we have a lot of that here in America, where we have these people who, I guess they kind of become these homegrown vigilantes. And it's like, oh, it's something going on over there with the illegals. Well, I'm going to suit up and go over there and handle it, type of thing. You know? That happens a lot in America. And so when I see things like this, it's like I said, I'm 50-50. I'm conscious of it, but I'm also not,
He has nothing going on that distracts him from wanting to help.
Right.
He probably goes to work, comes home, reads, gets into his deep dives and reads and do all the things. And then the next day he goes to work, he comes home, eats and does his deep dives until it's like ready, set, go.
Yeah. That's like a sleeper agent right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that.
Now, allegedly, Kim Jong-un, that's how you say his name?
From North Korea?
Yeah. He said he's waiting on the, get ready, the go button.
Ready for what?
He said he's waiting on an invite from Iran to help out. That's allegedly. I've been seeing different things.
I thought him and Trump fell out, right?
Yeah, because they used to be close. They used to be thick as thieves.
I wonder if Canada is going to join.
I don't know, but you sound excited about it.
I just find it, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
Who else has he made upset?
Man, hey.
He says nukes ready, still no invite.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. It's allegedly. Now that's what's on.
My man said, pull up.
What's going on?
Wow. Yeah, he did.
Nah, don't pull up with the nukes.
Yeah.
Don't do that, please.
Here's the thing. Just leave me out of the beef. Like, I'm not beefing with nobody. I'm just at home at my house in Durham, chilling. Yeah. I don't want to be involved.
Let's get back to something else too. Okay.
What's going on? I hope that you are enjoying this episode, but I wanted to take the time out to ask you to please subscribe to the podcast. I've noticed that a lot of people are watching but are not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way You won't miss an episode when it's aired or about to air. And also make sure you go to impelforwardmerch.com. That's impelforwardmerch.com. Grab you something. Now back to the episode.
What?
Speaking of the war stuff going on, elections and voting and all that, a part of this, a part of my struggle with the voting concept is, okay, we do all this struggle to vote, to make sure your vote counts. But we can have a president that says, I don't need Congress.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go and start this war. What you voting for? I don't care about that. What y'all doing? Like, where's the accountability at? And I think that for our system in America for voting, we have one of the most lenient accountability systems for our politicians, like across.
Oh, absolutely. You know why? Because no one has ever came in and done the things that he's done, right?
I mean, facts. Yeah,
so it's almost like no one went back to reread or to amend.
Hey, let me get this Constitution real quick and pull it back up.
Or the job descriptions, what you should have, what you shouldn't. But I was reading something, and if you think about it, a lot of prior presidents they've all had some level of education. They were attorneys. They were, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were DAs. They went to school. They have degrees. They have high level education outside
Ivy League stuff.
Ivy League outside of Trump, right? Yeah. So he comes in with all of this other stuff, and they're like, "Whoa!" But you can't stop him because nothing has been amended to keep, thugs like him out, right?
That's crazy.
And so now these are the people, the reason why we're voting people in to say, okay, he's doing all of this.
Yeah.
But the next person who comes in,
if we make it there,
the next person, right? The next person who comes in to be president or part of Congress or part of the Senate, you're gonna have to do a lot to get back in here.
Right now, the executive branch is on steroids, yo.
Yeah. Just imagine the Supreme Court is so fed up.
They ain't gonna do
like
that.
The people that he
picked most of them.
He picked, is fed up with him. The Supreme Court is fed up with what's the black man? His buddy.
Oh my God. I know you're talking about. Now you said I can't remember his name.
I know. I told you. Every time I get on here, I can't remember anyone's name. It's crazy.
I heard somebody told me it's not a work because Congress didn't give him the go ahead.
It's
not a what?
Not officially a war.
It's not officially. They say we're clearly at war, but it's supposed to get Congress approval.
Right,
Right.
But if someone dies and the coroner isn't there to give you a time of death, are you not dead? I'm just saying.
Right.
No, I mean I get what you're saying, but again, he does things behind the scenes because he has yes people, right? Other presidents prior to, they, didn't have the yes people, or everybody was in order and knew their role, right? So now because he calls everybody else a thug, so now we got this thug in the office, and he's just like, you know what?
We are uncharted territory right now, uncharted waters right now.
Like
But again, like that's where I struggle. Clarence Thomas, that's the name.
Yeah.
I knew it was something.
We definitely struggle, but I think there's going to be the amendments and the role and the requirements are going to be so tight moving forward. It's going to be, to be a president, it's going to be one hell of a thing to even get in. Like, you might as well it's a guy in California. He is running. I don't remember his name. You can look it up. You can Google this man. And he says his whole campaign is ran on transparency.
Okay.
He is a registered sex offender. And he is running.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And he's running.
Yeah.
I think for mayor.
Yeah, I think it's for mayor.
I don't know. I thought it was.
Did you put that in the chat?
It was some seat.
I saw it.
I don't know if it's mayor, but he's running for a seat council somewhere.
On council or whatever.
Yeah.
Again, because there's been no amendments, right? Written for anyone right now. He's actually getting some votes, and that's wild.
Because when you think about it, I mean, we do have a president who got like 34 felonies, though. So
I know.
I'm saying, what we doing?
So now,
what we doing?
I mean, then you have to realize, right? Some people probably are, registered because maybe they did something as a child. Maybe they were 18 or 17 and messed with somebody that was 15, whatever. I don't know, whatever state, right?
Okay.
And they had to register themselves. I guess you look at it as, can they be, can they not have a chance at life? You know what I mean? Depending on what it may be. Because it does, I mean, on the other hand, it's like people should give, felonies and, a second chance and all these other things. And that's what he's saying. He's saying, I'm a registered sex offender, full transparency, but I'm running too. Why don't I deserve a second chance?
That's a great point.
Hey, I mean, there are more hoops that you got to jump through to get a house and be a part of HOA. That more than that than becoming a politician. Like there needs to be more
those are strong amendments in place, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's the issue, though. We don't have strong enough guardrails.
That's why we're trying to vote now. Who is that? He won over
We're in North Carolina GOP primary for U.S. Senate.
I don't know.
Oh, so this just threw me off. I'm sorry, good people.
Pardon me, y'all. We had the TV on watching the election.
Looking at the election results.
So my whole thing, look at Cooper. Oh my, dude, just give it up, Williams.
70,000.
Give it up, Williams. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, Bucko. Give it up.
Oh my God.
What I was saying is, like, we can't fight on one hand for second chances, and then on the other hand,
deny a person who's trying to use their second chance
and trying to use their second chance by admitting and saying that they're recovered. We don't know the backstory. I didn't even look at the backstory because, frankly, that's California.
Listen, I just think, like, I believe in second chances, but there are some things where it's like, hey, we do have to make like a barrier of entry here. Like, it has to be like, no felonies type of thing can be accepted in here. Like we should, that does make sense. Nobody's denying a second chance, but that second chance doesn't apply here type of thing.
Does it? Why doesn't it? Why doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard.
Exactly. Why doesn't it?
That's like no one sin is bigger than the other.
That's very true. And I think that's one of the reasons why, after, if you think about it, so when getting a home, you're saying it's bigger to get a home, right? Mm-hmm. They have the Dodd-Frank, and you have to sign the Dodd-Frank, and that states that you haven't been convicted of any felonies as it pertains to wire fraud or a lot of these things, right?
Yeah.
Who are the biggest I would say, who are the biggest contributors of wire fraud, bank fraud, all of these things? A lot of these people in high positions, right? Mm-hmm. You have these people as CEOs. You hear about it all the time that embezzlement and all of these other things, right?
Right.
So they removed the Dodd-Frank, right? Or they changed the language of the Dodd-Frank. So now, you have some of those things. There's ways around it, and you're able to get a loan. So I say all this to say that we can't fight for somebody, right? We can't fight for second chances, but then pick and choose who you give second chances to. So you saying a drug dealer can no longer work at a pharmacy? Can't work at a pharmacy?
Hey, it's gotta, I look at it this way, it's gotta be appropriate.
Really?
Like if there's a person who has like a PDF charge, if they are a PDF charge, no, they can't go register as a school teacher type of thing,
I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What if it's, again, based on my scenario?
Okay.
Right?
I'm just talking about making it appropriate.
Right.
Fit.
I'm just saying, like,
case by case.
Case by case.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. We got to drill it down.
That's what I'm saying, like, case by case.
Yeah.
But, again, my scenario of, maybe somebody was 17, messed with somebody that was 16 or 15, and the parents just didn't like them for whatever, didn't like, whatever. So, he caught the stray.
Mm-hmm.
and he has to register for forever, right?
Mhm.
Based on something he did as a child or a young teen, a young adult, whatever you want to call him. And then, so should that person still be held back from wanting to be a teacher?
See, that's crazy because
He's
nobody
now 40.
knows.
He's went to school. He's a professor, but he still has to register. He's done everything right except for that wrong when he was in high school messing with someone in middle school.
I still think like that probably should not mix. I mean, you got teachers now that are having improper relationships with students.
Right. That's never had anything
That's
wrong.
true.
That's exactly.
They never got caught until then.
Probably never got caught, but they don't have anything on there. But we're saying, hey, you know, you can, and look what's happening to you. But this person who did something as a young adult, a teen,
if you
did everything right, and he wants to be, his lifelong dream is to help the youth and be a teacher.
I mean, if you registered as a sex offender, like we have to be as a society, we should be critical of that in order to continue protecting the society.
And our president,
hey, we're way beyond that at this point. Like,
and that's what I'm saying.
He ain't got no guardrails.
At this point, are there any?
He got no guardrails. But we're talking about putting some guardrails in place. Yes.
But I think there's room for, you know, there's room for improvement, right? But also, you don't want to hire somebody and they feel like they're, you know, they're being micromanaged or they're being watched, you know, based on something they did as a child. So we have to find ways of how can we incorporate them back into the community and, you know, in society and being a tax-paying resident.
Tough, man. It's tough.
It is.
I believe in trying to make it an appropriate situation as far as the problem and the solution, but also not further punishing that person for their second chance, which is why it should be on a case-to-case basis. It's a lot of considerations. I read an article last week about there was a convicted serial killer, I forgot his name, back in the 80s. He killed like 4 or 5 women. They arrested him, locked him up for 20 plus years. A couple of instances to where they felt like he was rehabilitated. There was also overcrowding in the prison system. So they paroled him, let him back out in the street. He killed 9 more people. 20 years later. So they thought that he was rehabilitated.
Meanwhile, he was
his second chance. And so it's a case-by-case basis, but you also just have to look at the behavior and see, okay, is this a pattern type of thing? I mean, now we're getting to psychology, but I get it.
I agree. I think it's definitely very hard, you know, but again, there's going to be those people who lean on the fact that this certain person running for city council, mayor, whatever he's running for, deserves the second chance.
Right. Or you could take the stance that say, hey, here's your second chance. You have this until you prove me wrong. You can do that too. That's also a route to take. It's risk and reward there.
Yeah. So a person charged with embezzlement, you wouldn't hire them to be your accountant?
Say that again?
Not if I know, like if I knew like, oh, this person's over here massaging the numbers, like, you know, that's on their record. And I can't say, but I've worked in a job before where we had an accountant who had exactly that on his record and was hired there. Everybody knew it was public information. And that dude was there. He was running accounting over there in the office. It was weird. It was crazy.
Did he do anything wrong?
Yeah, in the past, yeah.
I'm saying while he's back working at an accountant.
Not that I know of.
Right.
Not that I knew of.
These are similar scenarios.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, some people are up for forgiveness. I think we just, you know, a lot of times you can't preach on something that you would take a hard stance on.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
That's why I said earlier, man, I'm optimistic and pessimistic at the same time. Like I believe there's good in people, but I also understand like there's a lot of evil in people too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are capable of a lot of evil, yo.
Yeah.
So you just can't be naive and willy-nilly out here with your second chances. So wow. What's up, bro?
Wrapping it up.
Okay,
Renee, I want to get your last thoughts on the elections. What's going on right now? What is their What does this mean?
What does the election mean?
Yeah.
Where
as far
we're
as
trying
change,
to take over the Senate and Congress, right? So a lot of people left. You have your Marjorie Taylor Greens who left. You have the other crazy lady out in South Carolina, I believe left. Tom Tillis was not going to run for re-election at all. He's gone. So there's some people in Texas, I believe, that either left or no longer running, in other states as well. So the goal is, if whomever, I know for the red side, they want to see a whole red wave and continue that down the road in which they are, right? You know, they have been since January, right? But the goal is to make it a blue wave so we can get in and keep order. And I believe, allegedly, the goal is to get the Kristi Noems, the Pete Hegseths, and what's the other guy who was drinking beer with the USA team?
Cash Patel,
FBI. And all of the and Homer, all of those guys out, either in prison or fired.
Steve Bannon,
all of them. They know at some point they're going to jail, right? So
I don't know. They might not, man.
I mean, unless he comes back and says something. But again,
you
these
get
people
them a
talk.
future pardon. That's what you're gonna do.
These people talk. So once they feel backed in the corner and the president can't do anything at some point, they're going to start talking. They're going to write a book. They're going to do all the things. So that is the ultimate goal, is to get these people out, especially, the different states there, Congress people that are not doing anything for them and wasn't showing up or hosting town halls. And remember that when on the Republican side,
Congress just gave up. Bro.
Those people, the Republicans was not holding town hall meetings with their people.
Yeah.
And Democrats are going in those states saying, hey, we'll meet with you. What's your complaint? So
that's crazy.
I know. So that is kind of where it's at, is the goal is to get people in Congress and the Senate with some sense.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, yeah, based on kind of the results, it looks like Texas is doing Texas.
Yeah.
So hopefully my girl Jasmine gets her a seat. She's never mind. Jasmine, go Jasmine. Go Jasmine. Keep going. Get those votes in. Yeah. From a girl. Roy Cooper, good job. Good job, Roy. Roy, smashed it. Dude should just go home. Say goodnight.
Yep, and we will say goodnight too.
All right.
That's it for the Ford Social Conversations podcast.
Peace.
Peace.